Welcome to TalkNorth.com. Thanks to our longtime producer, Brandon Morton. Please download before you listen. If you'd like to advertise with us, you can reach us at talknorthpodcast@gmail.com. And please follow us on Twitter at TalkNorthPod. Two promo codes to be aware of. BiteSquad.com. Use the promo code TalkNorth to get your first delivery free. And go to SodaStick.com, the great local apparel company. Use the promo code YouBetcha to get free shipping on any sized order. Welcome to a playoff edition. Been waiting a while to say that. A playoff edition of Roy Smalley's Chin Music. This is part of the TalkNorth.com podcast network. Check out all the shows, but enjoy Roy while you can, while baseball is still being played. I love our off-season shows, but this is as good as it gets, talking about the Twins going to Yankee Stadium. Roy played for the Twins. Roy played for the Yankees. Roy covers the team for Fox Sports North, and we are both on the same flight today to go to New York to cover this series. Roy will be sitting next to the in the cockpit next to the pilot. I will be in the back by the bathroom. That's the way this works. That's okay. So Roy, just give me. I'm just start real simple here. Just give me the first thing that comes to mind about this series or this matchup.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the potential for an epic slugfest. I think that's on everybody's minds, just how good both these teams are offensively. And the chances are that it's not going to be who pitches the best, as it usually is. It's going to be who pitches just enough to give the other team a chance to outslug the other one, give one team the chance to outslug the other one. So that's the way it's setting up. Could be totally different. We could have guys pitch the games of their lives from either side. But I would bet on the former rather than the latter.
Right. And the interesting thing there is, people have this image of the Yankees, and it's earned. It's an earned image of being the Bronx Bombers, the great sluggers. And obviously they hit one fewer homers than the Twins this year. They are sluggers. But if you look at it, Cruz and Sano and Garver have higher OPSs, higher slugging percentage than almost anybody in the Yankee team. This is a series the Twins could win by slugging.
They absolutely can, as evidenced by the 14-12 game we saw at Target Field, which was either going to end 14-12 Yankees or 15-14 Twins, depending on whether Aaron Hicks made that diamond catch in center field in the bottom of the last inning. So they absolutely can outslug the Yankees. And the thing that I think is the most germane about the Twins offense is this. I believe to be successful in the postseason, Cruz and Rosario are going to have to be the big run producers that they've been during the season. I don't think they can take, this series off, as it were. They have a bad series on the face of it. However, all season long, as evidenced by the fact that the Twins hit 307 home runs, everybody is in the lineup is capable of stepping up and having a big day and winning the day for the Twins, as Kepler has done if he's healthy and swinging okay with the long layoff. Let's assume everybody is close to being who they are. Then Kepler can do it, and Polanco can do it, and Garver can do it, and Sano can do it, and Crone can do it, and Scope can do it, and on and on and on. Jake Cave can do it. So I think it's going to be a lot more fun for the Twins if Cruz and Rosario are big time numbers 3 and 4 in the lineup in terms of run production. But the whole lineup is one pitch away from doing something really big at any given moment, even when it looks dire. And so, or even when the lineup has been shut down to any given point. It's a base hit and a walk and a 3-run home and one pitch away from a 3-run home run. So I think that's the Twins' great strength. That plus their mental resiliency, the fact that it doesn't matter what inning they're in, they feel like they're going to win the game. They know they're one pitch away from something big, and they thrive on that, and they think they're going to beat the Yankees.
As I wrote about today, I think the fan base is completely paranoid about the Yankees and Yankee history and the Yankee Stadium. You talk to Twins people, insiders, what they're worried about is they really think missing Buxton is a big deal. Maybe missing Arise is a big deal, and Kepler's health is a big deal. They aren't thinking about history or curses or anything else. They're worried about health.
There's nobody in that clubhouse that gives a rip about what has gone on with the Twins and the Yankees in the past. Not one guy. I guarantee you Nelson Cruz doesn't care. I guarantee you Eddie Rosario doesn't care. Polanco, any of these guys. And Marwin Gonzalez is a great leader in the clubhouse in terms of collective mentality of the team. He doesn't care. I mean, these guys have been in big games, and they just don't care what's happened in the past. And I feel like they're on a mission now. I think Kepler's health. I think they will miss Buxton in that big ballpark in New York, in that big outfield from right center to left center. They will miss him for sure. And we're all just hoping like crazy, I think, that Max Kepler is not only healthy, but he can get his timing and his stroke back after a long layoff. I think that's my biggest concern, because they need him.
Absolutely. So a hitter question for you. Twins are going to Yankee Stadium, which is configured similarly to Target Field, but obviously it's a closer right field porch. If you're a hitter, do you think about the right field porch, or do you just do what you've done all season?
No, they're going to do what they've done all season. And that's the other thing. The other reason I like the Twins here is because when I think about the pitchers that the Yankees are likely to throw at them, those guys, for the most part, even though a lot of them throw hard and have a good enough fastball to beat people, their out pitches, the way they get guys is to expand the strike zone and get guys swinging at sliders and changeups in the dirt and that kind of thing. And the Twins just don't do that very much. They have gone 162 games now with the approach, everybody going up there and looking for a ball in the middle of the zone that they can knock the heck out of. And they see the ball pretty well. They're selectively aggressive, or aggressively selective, however you want to say that, about balls in the zone, but not out of the zone. And I think, and they're good breaking ball hitters, all of them. So I think that is, their ability to hit the ball in the ballpark, but also their ability to go up with single-minded purpose now for 162 games and make pitchers throw them pitches they want to hit in the middle of the zone, will acquit themselves very, very well against the Yankee pitching staff, probably as well as as anybody in the league could do.
And along those lines, I think that's why Rosario is such a key, because when he's not right, he does chase, and when he's right, even though he might swing a pitch out of the strike zone, he swings a pitch out of the strike zone he can actually handle.
That's exactly right. I said the other day on the broadcast when we were in, I think, Kansas City at the end of the season and the regular season, and FSN shows the strike zone box to everybody, and I said, I think that they ought to put in a shadow box above and around and below that one for Eddie. I mean, and take it 3 to 4 inches all the way around and put that shaded, because that's Eddie's strike zone. It's
right.
It's 3 inches more all the way around the rectangle than the actual strike zone. But that's the way he hits. And what I've been really pleased about the last couple of weeks of the season is that he has been more selective, and he has been willing to use the whole field more, and he hasn't chased nearly as much. And it paid off in Detroit when he hit it. He got to a 2-strike count and was fouling fastballs down the left field line. And then got a curveball, not a bad curveball, but he because he was waiting longer and making sure that he wasn't way out in front of something trying to hit in the right field seats, he hit it in the right field seats because he was in perfect position. So that's been real encouraging about Eddie. He'll be amped up. There's no question. He loves a big stage. He's going to be looking for fastballs that he can hit, a long way to right field. But hopefully he'll be able to situational at bat hit in terms situational counts and those kinds of things, and he'll continue to do what he did the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, which was really good. Some
pitching conversations, a couple Twitter questions coming up. Do want to say that Tuesday night we did the Russo show at Tin Shed Tavern in Savage, and one of our longtime listeners who comes to all the shows came up to me and said, I've been hearing you and Roy talk about berry coffee so much, I got to order some. And he said, I've had trouble finding it in stores. I said, and I just told him, and this is the ad for today. I said, call them. It's not just a web-based business where you have to deal with bots and you have to hope that you type everything in perfectly. Call them, deal with a real human being, a nice human being. They will make sure that you get fresh coffee shipped to you. They won't ship it. They will wait until they have a fresh batch, and they will ship you the fresh batch, and it'll show up very quickly. The coffee will never sit on a shelf getting old. It's great to begin with, and then there's no deterioration. There's no shipping it across the country. There's no having it sit on a store shelf. And maybe you don't know for a week, maybe 3 months. You have no idea how long it's been sitting there. This coffee is right out of the roaster, and they send it to you, and it tastes like it's right out of the roaster. And I told him that your favorite is the berry coffee, the Bull Run blend, house blend. My favorite is the Bull Run French roast, but you're just not going to be able to miss. So just enjoy a company where the customer service is actually provided by real people. Berry Coffee, berrycoffee.com. Check out berrycoffee.com for both coffees, all kinds of different coffees, all kinds of different foods and snacks, and different machines. The interesting thing here about the Twins pitching is, no, you can't pretend that there's anything close to ideal about going to a short series and not knowing who your Game 3 starter is. That's not the way you want it set up. But, it's a bit of a jujitsu here. It could end up benefiting the Twins because, a lot of teams will run out a third starter because that's what you're supposed to do, and they don't really have confidence in that pitcher. This team is going to be able to improvise and throw different arms at the Yankees in any situation. I don't know if that's going to work, but there's kind of a perverse logic to it that you're not dependent on your starting pitcher giving you 6 solid innings.
I think that's really true. I think they're probably planning on a whole staff game, and that bullpen has become a strength of theirs when you think about starting to set up the game, even from the 4th inning on. And I would suspect that Randy Dobnak will get a chance to throw his stuff up there for as long as he can, and they'll try to get to, if they've got a close ball game or a lead, they'll try to get to the parade of Trevor May and Duffy and Romo and Rogers, and so they're in good shape in that way. I think it will be important, whoever the first game starter is. I'm assuming it's Brios, but I obviously don't know that. It's probably going to be, the first 3 games are going to be in some order: Brios, Odorizzi, and Holstaff. I would imagine. Don't know which one of those is going to go first, but if it's Brios, that's the one guy where you say, we'd really need 6 great innings out of you, and not only for obvious reasons, but for psychological reasons as well. And so I think the Brios game is going to be a huge game in the sense that they need a lot of innings from him, and they need not to use 4 arms out of the bullpen in a Brios game.
Right, and I've been told Brios is the Game 1 starter. The Twins are saying they still haven't, made final plans. Who knows? They could change it up, but I've been told that Brios was set up to be their Game 1 starter. I was also told they were considering everything in Game 2, from maybe having an opener, then Odorizzi, and then, if the game goes a certain way, maybe you can limit Odorizzi's innings so he can come back later in the series. I think that's the thing. I think they are wide open to any ideas, and being open-minded about it might end up benefiting them in some way. And I like Dobnak as a starter in one of these games. Who knows if he goes 1 inning or 5, I also kind of like Smeltzer. If you have to go two